Yep.
How is your day going so far?
It's going great. Actually, my day I've just started, so it's my
Okay.
second class. So yeah, it's going great. How was your day? How was
Good.
your day?
I'm in California, so right now it's about coming up on 1:30
All
my
right. So
time in the afternoon.
you wanna know my time right now?
Oh, do I really? Go ahead, tell me so I can feel better.
It's 2 a.m.
2 a.m. I know. I worked in high tech for 30 years and
Oh wow.
worked in software companies. So I've worked with a lot of teams from India, and yeah, I'm used. Yeah,
Yep.
I know
Okay.
this,
Okay.
and I can't say I'm
You-
happy about it, but you know,
Not a problem. I'm happy about it. You
yeah.
don't have to worry about it. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
happy about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Bye bye. You are
All
good to
right.
go,
Take
Vicky.
care. Okay. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Hello, everyone. Some of us are muted. That's okay. You can just.
Hello, Vicki.
Hi. How are you?
Hello. Fine.
Okay. So our
Hi.
sub, what?
Rochelle,
Rochelle. Are you comfortable renaming yourself, or do you want me to?
you do it.
All right, I'm gonna do it. Hang on, Rochelle. Let me do rename. Where's my rename? Here it is. ROCHELL. No,
R-A.
RA.
CHELLE.
Ooh, even better. I like it. Hello, everyone. Mary Lou, you look fine. Don't worry. I know she's. You're like, what do you think?
I've been out in the wind.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just giving you a hard time.
So where are
Traffic
you at,
time up.
Vicki?
I am in San Jose, California.
Oh, okay.
So that's Northern California in the heart of Silicon Valley.
Yeah, well, I'm outside of Chicago, so it's kind of windy up here.
Yeah, I had another lady yesterday on one of my classes, and I had people with scarves.
Yeah, it's kind of windy up here.
And we also have, I just want to introduce Brandon is in our class today as well. Brandon is from our support team. Yay. and he's going to be helping out. If you have questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm going to have the chat open. He'll be monitoring the chat. If you have any technical issues, just let us know. Brandon is here to support us. Hi, Brandon.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Brandon's like, oh, I was just hoping to hang out.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And also let me, for those of you who are on today's call, feel free to type into the chat if you feel comfortable enough what you are hoping to get out of today's class, just in a few words. So if you want to, go ahead and just throw that into the chat. Let's see how that goes. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started. We may hear, there's Shirley. I'm just going to give it another minute. Hello, Shirley.
My son's a firefighter and our ranch caught on fire one time.
Hi.
Thank you guys very much. Okay.
So I'm also going to ask folks if you can mute yourselves today, just because we all have different background noise going on. I get it. And so if you can keep yourself muted, and then if you have any questions, if you get stuck anywhere, just, unmute yourself, holler, put your questions in the chat. It's going to be interactive today. So thank you all. Let me go ahead and get started. I am going to share my screen. Let's do that. And let me just move this down a little bit. All righty. Okay, that's looking much better. Let's see here. So, well, first of all, welcome everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Happy Tuesday. My name is Vicki. I'm your GetSetUp guide. And as I mentioned to some of you before, I am calling in from San Jose, California. A little bit about me. I worked in the high-tech industry for 30 years. I did a number of things, including technical support, a lot of technical training and instructional design. So I've had the pleasure of teaching folks from all over the world, teaching folks who are very technical and those who are not very technical, who are just starting to dip their toes into this world of technology. And for me, being a guide with GetSetUp enables me to do what I love best, and that is really educate folks about technology. So I get to do what I love, which is a big bonus for me. So a little bit about me. We just have some housekeeping details to get out of the way, and then we're just going to jump right in. So today, we're a learning community, and ideally we love it if people will put their cameras on, but I understand not everyone feels that they are camera ready, and I don't insist on it, but it's fun if, we can see each other. Just makes it a little bit more interactive. I'm going to leave that up to you. Today's class is being recorded, and if you would like a copy of our class, you can simply email help@getsetup.io and request a copy of the recording. They'll be happy to get it over to you. And for those of you who are joining us via live stream, welcome. You can see and hear everything we're doing in class today, but I always recommend folks to register for class, and that way you can fully participate. And lastly, GetSetUp is a training organization. We are not paid to promote any products or services. We don't get any commissions or fees. We are completely about the training, getting folks connected so that you can really take advantage of all the classes, the social hours, the interest groups that we have on our platform. We're offering classes 7 days a week. You can take classes that are offered in the US, in India, in Australia, the UK, and Canada. So we are all over, we are global, and you can pretty much find something to watch or something to take 24/7. So that's just a little bit about us. And today, what I'm going to be talking about, going over briefly what is Google Drive for those of you who are very new to the product. And we're also going to make sure everyone's comfortable navigating in Google Drive, understanding where to go to get what. We're going to talk about some basic actions that you can do in Google Drive, such as creating files and folders, copying, renaming, moving, deleting files, that kind of a thing. We're also going to be talking a little bit about sharing files and folders from within Google Drive, because that's a big benefit of the Google Apps Suite, is this whole idea of sharing and collaboration. And of course, let me know if you have any questions at all. So just curious, how many folks have worked with Google Drive? You can just sort of, raise your hand or virtual raise hand. Yeah, Kathleen, okay, a little bit. Angela, all right. Maybe some other folks. All right, so some yes, some, maybe you're trying to figure out, well, what is Google Drive? And really, that's what we're going to talk about next. So I remember when I started working with the Google Apps Suite, I go into Google Docs or Google Sheets and I would create something. And honestly, I never really knew where it was being saved. So for those of you who are new to the world of Google, when you create any type of a file using any of the apps in the Google Apps Suite, those files are stored on your Google Drive. So they're stored in the Google Cloud, but you have your own personal storage space within the Google Cloud. That's called your Google Drive. And when you sign up for a Google account, which is free, and again, using Google Drive is free, doesn't cost you anything, you will get your own Google Drive, your own little personal storage area. Now, with that Google Drive, you get 15 gigabytes of free storage. You can purchase additional storage. We'll take a look at that, but you do get a bunch of free storage to start off with. Now, when we talk about that 15 gigabytes, that not only includes storage for any file, whether it's a document, a text file, or video, or photos, but that also includes storage for your email. So if you're using Gmail as well, something to just be aware of. The really nice thing about using Google is that files are automatically backed up. They're always available from your Google Drive. So no matter what device you create a file on, it's always there. Your files are always saved on your Google Drive, and you can access them from any device. So let me know if you have any questions about Google Drive. And Angela, you have your hand raised. Do you have a question, or did you forget to lower it?
I think I've forgotten to lower it.
Okay, just want to make sure. So again, feel free to do a virtual hand raise or just unmute yourself and say, hey, Vicki, I have a question. And by the way, if you see me looking multiple directions, it's because I have two monitors and I have some things on one monitor and other things on another monitor. And I'm going to, let me just make Brandon a co-host. All right, Brandon, you are good to go. Sorry about that one.
So it's okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and just, I want to show you how you can access your Google Drive, what it looks like to navigate in Google Drive. So today I am working off of a laptop. So I'm going to be using my web browser to work on my Google Drive app. But for those of you who may be on a tablet or a smartphone, you can download the Google Drive app from your App Store or Google Play Store, and you'll have the same capability that I'm showing you, just using from the web, from the browser. So just an FYI. Let's go ahead and I'm going to just open up another browser window so I can just show you what we're going to be doing today. And what I've done is I've opened up a browser and I've just navigated to google.com. I'm going to sign into my Google account. And I have a number of different accounts here, Google accounts. I use them for training purposes. So there we go. I'm logging on to my Google account. And one of the ways that you can access your Google Drive app from a browser is you'll see that there's this waffle, what they call the waffle icon. It looks like a grid. You can click on that icon, and then within this drop-down menu, you will have Google Drive, the Drive app. I simply click on it, and I've opened up my Google Drive. Also, for those of you who are just as comfortable, you can type out in the address bar drive.google.com, just the way you see it here, and it'll go to the Google Drive as well. So just whatever you're comfortable with. Let me go ahead and I'm just going to put that in the chat so people can see it. Google.com, just so that you have another way of getting to Google Drive. And so this is what my Google Drive looks like. And let me just take you through what it is you're seeing. So first of all, when you open up your Google Drive, you're going to see something called Quick Access. Now, I have files in my Quick Access right now because I've been using Google Drive. If you haven't used it before, the first time you open it up, you won't have anything in Quick Access, because the way this works is as you start opening up files more and more, Google remembers which files you open up the most, and then they simply put it in here in Quick Access as a suggestion for you. So this is what Quick Access is. These are typically files that you tend to open more often than not. On the left-hand side here, what you're seeing on this navigation panel, these are system created folders, as well as, and I'm just going to click open on this little triangle here, as well as any folders, personal folders that you created. And I'm going to show you how to do this. So again, we're looking at system generated folders, and then any folders you create, your personal folders in the Google Drive, and it's called My Drive over here. And so that's, the navigation panel. We're going to go through this. We talked about our Quick Access. And then once you start creating folders and files in your Google Drive, down here at the bottom, you're going to start to see folders. And if you open a folder, then this is where you'll start to see the files as well. Any questions so far? Sylvia, did you have a question? You might have to unmute yourself. Or maybe not. Did you raise your hand before and forget to lower it? Okay, just let me know if you have any questions. So this is the basic layout for your Google Drive. One other thing I wanted to mention is over here, it looks like a little grid icon. There are two views that you have. Sylvia, did you have a question? Sorry, so you just
yes, I forgot to unmute. I was talking here. I'm sorry. I'm on an iMac. I don't know how many years old, probably 4 or 5 or maybe more.
Okay.
And somehow my screen doesn't look like yours. And I was wondering if, are you on a PC?
I am. I'm on a laptop today. I do have, I have an iPad as well, and it looks pretty much the same. The functionality is about the same. Is yours very, very different?
Well, I don't even know how to ask the question.
Okay.
I was just wondering, because when I look at your, well, first of all, my screen on the right-hand side, about 1/6 of it is covered by the pictures of our attendee. So I can't see the back part of your screen, and I don't know how to, I can't move it.
Okay.
So I'm trying to make it
right.
smaller so I can see the entire screen that you're on. That's what I'm
Right.
doing.
You know what, Sylvia, can you Brandon, I don't know if you have time to reach out to Sylvia. If you don't, I can work with her. Sylvia, if you're willing to just to hang out after class is done, I'd be happy to see if we can troubleshoot for you. Is
Thank
that
you so
something you'd be
much.
willing to do?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yep. Thank
Okay, wonderful. All right. Sorry about that. I do have an
Vicki,
iPad.
I got
Yeah,
a question.
Sure.
I got a question. How much is the buy storage? How much is that, and how many more megabytes you can get if you buy storage?
Sure, let's go ahead and take a look at that. So if I click on this storage cloud over here, and by the way, what you're seeing, excuse me, what you're seeing under storage, this little cloud, there is I call it a status bar. It's this gray bar. I don't have that many files right now. This is just a little test account for me. As you start using up more storage, you'll see a blue bar that slowly starts to creep across the gray bar, and it shows you, it gives you a visual of just how much space you've used up and how much you have left, how much is free space. So if I click on the buy storage, and you can see it's a monthly charge for additional storage. I'm just going to keep scrolling. That's terabytes. So this is what it's going to cost you for additional storage. Okay.
Okay, but yeah, but if you delete some of your files, or will that clear up extra storage for you, or no?
It will. It sure will. Yeah.
Okay.
And remember, this 15 gigabytes, I don't know if you use Gmail or not. Do you, Rochelle? Are you on Gmail?
No, I use Yahoo.
Okay, then it doesn't, you're fine. But yeah, if you delete files, and remember that if you have lots of video files or lots of photos, images that you're saving on your Google Drive, those take up more space than regular text files. So something to be aware of. Great question.
Okay, thank you.
So,
You're
Vicki,
welcome. Yeah.
Vicki, you started saying that if she used Gmail, what? Because I have Gmail.
Right. So just know that this 15 gigabytes of free space, that also includes space being used by your Gmail account.
Okay.
And so this is where from time to time you might want to go through and, maybe get rid of some old Gmails, emails that you're not using. So just FYI.
Okay.
Good to know. All right, great questions. The one thing that I did want to just mention while I was showing you this area, the files and folders area, you have two different ways of viewing your information. Over here, there's a little grid icon. So you can be in grid view or list view. So if I click on this grid icon, it brings me into this, this other view where you can actually see it's like a preview of the file, a preview version. And if I click back on the icon, then it brings me into this other view where you're literally, it's just listing out the name of the file. You can't really see what's in there. Sometimes it can be useful when you click on get into grid view. You can just actually have a better visual of like, oh, this is the file that I was really looking for. So I just wanted to show you, this is how you change your view. It can be just useful. So this is the general layout of Google Drive. So I wanted people to get comfortable with that. Let me just ask folks, anybody brand new to working with folders like electronically? Because I always like to include this, this file. Some people are like, this is the first time I'm doing this. And I call this Folders 101. So for those of you who are still struggling to try to, get your brain wrapped around this, I always give an example of, think about a filing cabinet. And when you open up your filing cabinet, this is, your drawer, that's like your Google Drive. Think of this as your Google Drive. And within your Google Drive, within your, this filing cabinet, you have, when you open your drawer, you have individual folders. And so when that's very similar to what you're seeing here on the right-hand side of this image. And so when you open up a folder, that's where you may have documents, different type of documents within a folder. So hopefully that just gives you an idea of how you can match up what we know from previous lives to this whole new idea of working with folders and files on the computer. Angela has a great question. When you make a file, how do you set up a folder? I'm going to show you that next. Great question. And so that's what I call working with folders 101. And let's talk a little bit about what's in this navigation pane. What can we do here? And then we're going to start really getting into the different activities, the different actions that we can take. So let me just go back to my browser. And when we're taking a look over on the left here, my drive, this is your Google Drive. And when you first get into Google Drive, it looks like this. And there's a little triangle here. When you click on that triangle, once you start creating folders, these folders will start showing up just like this. And that's where your folders and files live, right in this section here. The shared with me, we're going to get to this towards the end of class today. If people have shared a file or a folder with you, you will be able to access it here in the shared with me. Recent, if you've been opening up the same files over and over again, a fast way to access them when you open up Google Drive is to go to your recents, and anything you've recently opened up is going to be here. We also have a starred folder. And again, these are generated by Google. The starred, what I'll show you how to do is, this is similar to favorites. So you can star or flag a file, and then it will show up here. And again, these are like shortcuts. If you have certain files that are important to you that you work with a lot, you might want to star them so that you can get to them very quickly in your Google Drive. And then trash, when you've deleted files, they remain in the trash can, just like here, for about 30 days. And then they are gone. But it doesn't mean you can't get rid of them. You can empty your trash. And I think, Rochelle, that was a question you had. Just when you delete files, you can let them stay here for 30 days, but if you're getting short on space, you can always empty your trash, and then it will free up some more capacity. Chuck, did you have a question?
Yes. Can you reset the 30 days to a shorter or longer time?
I don't believe you can, but you know what? Let me verify that. Reset 30 days for trash, and I'll include it in our after class notes. I don't believe you can, but I want to verify that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let me know if you have any other questions. That's the trash folder. And again, these are all created by Google Drive when you first create your account. So the next thing I wanted to do was start talking to you about how you can create folders, how you can create files, and then what can you do with your files and folders. So I'm here in my drive, and the fastest way to create a folder is to come up here, and you'll see there's a new button. If I click on that new button, and if you're on a tablet or a phone, you'll just be tapping on it. You'll see that there's another menu that opens up. And if I were to click on folder, I'm creating a new folder, and I can call this Tuesday for lack of creativity. And so what I've done is I've now created a new folder called Tuesday. You'll notice that it immediately shows up under my drive here in this navigation panel on the left. and I can double click on it to open. It's empty. And at this point, I can start creating files or moving files, copying, moving files in here. So for example, let's say I wanted to create, I'll show you how to create a file and also how to upload files. So if I were to click on new, and remember, I'm in my drive, I'm also in this Tuesday folder now. If I click on the new button, I can upload files, I can upload folders. Let's do that first since I'm here. If I click on file upload, what it's going to do is I'm on a laptop. And so if I can navigate to a particular folder on my C drive. You can also do this. You have folders on your tablets and phones. And I can just select a particular file or multiple files. If I hold my shift key down, I can click on open just like this. And what's happening is these files are now being uploaded to my Tuesday folder. So this is one way of creating a new folder, and you can actually upload files from your device, whether it's a hard drive or if you have other folders on your tablet. And this might be something to think about. People are asking me, well, I use, OneDrive, or I have I have my MacBook and I have my files there. What some people find is they prefer to move some of their files up off of their device into the cloud to save some disk space, to save some room if things are starting to get really tight in there. So I have a lot of folks who are just using Google Drive because they're moving their files off of their device, their hard drive. So something to think about. So this is one way of starting to place files into a folder. That's by uploading files. You can also upload an entire folder if that's easier for you. So I just showed you how to do file upload. If you clicked on folder upload, you could literally just go into documents and select a folder, and it would upload the entire folder with its contents. Another way that you can start adding content to a folder is by creating a brand new file. And Google makes it easy. Google Drive makes it easy to do this. I do this all the time. If you click on the new button, if you come down here towards the bottom, you see Google Docs, Google Sheets, and so on. These are some of the office productivity applications. Let's just say I wanted to create a new document using Google Docs. Well, what's nice is I can come over here to this little caret, this little arrow that's pointing to the right, and I can create a brand new document, Google Doc, using a blank document, or even using a template that comes with the Google Docs app. So if I were to create a blank template, and I'm not going in how to use Google Docs, but I can just say, this is my test doc. I can give it a name, Tuesday file item. And then when I close this particular tab, it shouldn't be untitled. There we go, Tuesday. So any questions about how I created a folder, how I created a document? Do folks feel comfortable enough being able to do this on their own, you think? Yeah. Sylvia, did you have another question? Or was your hand raised from before? Her hand may have been raised from before.
Okay, my question is, and I forgot. I can't see my email thing because I'm on the computer.
Right.
But on my I have my Android here with me. It's a Galaxy S20 Plus,
Mhm.
and it's my memory. I don't see new. In order to I used to be able to add a
Okay.
new folder or rename a folder, but I've forgotten how I did it. Now on this Android, I don't see that. I can see the email. It says all inboxes, all labels, star. Oops. Oh, I
And
lost.
you're on the Google Drive app, Sylvia, or are you on your email?
Oh, are they different?
Yes, they are. They're two different applications.
Well, I thought you were on because you have the. How do I get to Google Drive then?
You'll need to download it from your Google Play Store if you're on an Android.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I don't want to delay everybody.
Okay. Okay, got it. It's one of those aha moments. I get
I
it.
just thought that once I get into it, I'm already in Google Drive. Oh, this is
No, you'll need to download a separate app. So, and we can help you with that too if you want to just stay around after class.
okay. Thank you. I hope I remember to
Okay.
answer more questions. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chuck, I know you have a question. Let me just address Angela. Angela says, well, I didn't see you save. Does it save automatically when in the cloud? Yes, when you're using any of the Google apps, anytime you're working on a file, anything you do is automatically saved. There is no save button. That's the beauty of it. So that's one of the things I love best. You're welcome.
Thanks.
Chuck, did you have a question?
Yeah, just a simple one, I think. When you create a new folder on my drive, does it automatically go in alphabetical, or is that just a coincidence that Tuesday comes after skiing?
Let's try it. Let's create a new folder and call it ABC. Let's see what happens. Just wait for it. I believe the answer is it's alphabetical.
I thought it was, but I'm not familiar with this, so I was just checking. And
yeah,
numerical would be before A.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you got it. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Vicki, can you delete the file after if you change your mind and you don't want to save it?
Of course. And let's go ahead and talk about that as well. So I'm going to open up my Tuesday folder. I'm on a laptop, so I'm going to double click on it. And one of the things that you can do is from right over here in the file itself, if I go ahead and I right click on a file, you can do this on a folder as well. There's a whole menu that drops down that you have access to. And again, I right clicked with my mouse. Depending upon the device, you'll need to figure out how to right click on that one. When you do that, there are a number of different things that you can do here. So let's take a look and just talk about these. First of all, what can you do? You can rename a file simply by clicking on rename, and then it's going to, I can say my rename test file. There you go. That's a mouthful. So you can rename a file. If I right mouse click on that same file, I can add it to starred. So when you click on add it to starred, there's a little star that appears. Isn't that adorable? And then just to show you, if I click on the starred folder, and this is that system generated folder that's on the left navigation panel, there it is. So this is, if you're going to be using a file very often, you might want to star it so that it's really easy to get to. Let's go back to our Tuesday folder. I'm simply going to click on it right here. This is a fast way, by the way, on the left-hand navigation panel to get to your folders. So here's that Tuesday file. That was my test file. If I right click on the file to bring up this whole menu, one of the things that you can do is if you go down to the bottom, you can remove it. And when you click on remove, it moves it into trash. So I'll do that last. We'll do a couple of things first. What else can you do when you right click on a file? You can download a copy of the file. So you can download your files from the cloud to your device. When you click on download, one of the things that it's going to do is it will ask you, do you want to open it? Do you want to save it? And if I allow it to just save, by default, it's going to save it to my downloads folder. If you're on a MacBook, it might save it to your finders. I'm just wondering where it would do it on a MacBook. I'll have to think about that. And so that's, again, I'm right clicking on my file name. We talked about removing, we talked about renaming, we talked about downloading. Yeah, Chuck, question.
When you download it, it goes to where you direct it, but it also stays there I guess in the cloud.
It does. Downloads a copy of the file.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. Another thing that you can do is, let's talk about moving. First of all, let's make a copy. My apologies, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to click on make a copy. And what this is doing is it just made a copy of that file, and it literally renames it with copy of. And remember, you can always right click on the file, rename it, and another test file. You can just rename it, click OK. And so let's click OK. There we go. And so that's how you can rename, make a copy and rename it. So there's a lot of different things that I'm sort of throwing at you there. So a few other things that you can do. Let's say you want to move a file. So maybe I wanted to move another test file into my ABC folder. Two different ways you can do this. First of all, you can left click, and holding down your mouse clicker, you can then literally drag it into this ABC folder, and that's where it is. If I were to go back to my Tuesday, let's copy another file. So let's copy this or move this Tuesday file. If also to that ABC folder, if I right click on the Tuesday file, if I click on move to, so two different ways to move. It depends on what you're comfortable with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use this back button to get me back to my drive. Then I'm going to select my ABC folder. Let me see if I can move down here. And then I'm going to click on move. Let's see what it did here, ABC. And there's the Tuesday file. So two different ways of moving files. You can click and drag it if you feel comfortable, or right click and then use the move to. Any questions so far about what we've been doing? About what you can do with Drive? So it's a lot, and you might want to either take the class again or request a copy of the recording so you can go through it on your own. And so those are the important things that you can do, the important actions that you can take on a file. Also, if I right click on a folder name, you'll see that I have a number of the same options there. This is kind of fun, change color. So if I were to maybe just change it to red, what I've done is you can change your colors of your folders, kind of color code them. So just something else to be entertained with. And by the way, if I were to, let's go back to the Tuesday folder. Let's do this one last thing. I'm going to right click on my rename test file. Let's go ahead and click on remove, and that's how you're going to delete your files. You can also remove entire folders. And what happens is now, if I go back to trash, there's the file that I just deleted. And if I right click on it, I can either delete it forever, or if you deleted something by mistake, you can restore it. You can bring it back into that Tuesday folder. So again, I just clicked on trash. I right clicked on a particular folder. You could also right click, on a file, on a folder, and restore an entire folder, or restore just one or more files individually. And yeah, Shirley, question.
Vicki, I have a question. If I'm on an iPad and so I don't have access to a right click, so where would I find the screen on the iPad that gives you all the options that you showed us, like text, color, and to remove? That's one question. The other question is, I had used this for work and I had some shared files and I don't have a need for them anymore, but I don't know how to get rid of them.
Sure. And I thought I had my Google Drive on here. I know I have my Google Drive. I have an iPad mini, and I do have the drive on here. I just, of course, when I need it, I don't have it. I also have my phone with me. Oh, here it is. Okay, I have it on my phone for whatever reason. Oh, yes, I do. I have it on my iPad. All right, here we go. What I can do is this the hamburger? So if you, on your iPad, Shirley, one of the things that you can do is do you see where it says search and drive right next to that, there are 3 parallel lines. They also call that the hamburger. Do you see that on your Google Drive?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure you have that. On your, let me go home. I want to make sure I'm not in any of my shared. There we go. You have 3 dots next to each of your files on your Google Drive, and this is for an iPad. When you tap on those 3 dots, that brings up your menu where you have all of these options. So when I right click, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong. Let's get into another folder here. When I right click on a file and I bring up this menu, you can see the same menu in your Google Drive. Shirley, do you see the 3 dots that are next to?
Yes, I can see that. And I can see the option to remove. I have a lot of files. Is there any way to do one big group, remove all of them?
You can do a folder that's one way. If you have a folder that you want to remove. And I have to see what's the easier way of doing. Because there is a way of just depending upon how you want to use this. Let me find out how you can do multi-select.
Okay.
From your Google, from Google Drive on the iPad. So that will make it easier.
Okay.
But
One other question, if this
Sure.
was shared and other people are currently adding to that, but I don't want to participate in it anymore, can I still delete all of that from my drive?
Yeah, if it's been shared with you.
Right, and I didn't create it, but it's been shared with me, and there's still, because I went to try to remove something and it said that one other participant was still adding to it.
You should, if somebody is currently, because you can always remove a file even in your shared with me directory folder rather. If somebody currently has it open, that's interesting. You might not be able to.
Also, Vicki, I have a
Yes.
quick question. Can you send something from the Google Drive to a printer?
Sure, you sure can. Let's see, if I right click, do I have my printer here? Oh, that's a really good question. I want to say yes. Really good question. Let me direct a file to the printer. Let me go ahead and look into that. I said yes very quickly. Did you notice that? And let me see if I click on my 3. It may be, you may have to open it up into the actual app itself. Let me verify this. That's a really good question. Great one. Thanks for asking that, because that's how we learn. So
well,
maybe not.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
No. From Google Drive. Not at all. I'll go ahead and find out.
Could it be to printer?
Where do you see that, Jane?
When you did the right click and the list
see.
of all the things again, it says move to. Yeah, move to. Wouldn't it? It'll have a list of things.
No, you're actually, the move to allows you to move it to a different folder within your Google Drive.
Folder. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I really thought that printer was going to be right here. It's not.
Vicki, on iPad, it is there.
It is there. If you tap on those 3 buttons.
Yes, it does have it print.
It does have it. How do you like that? Let me take a look. There it is. Print right there. I'm on my iPad. That's why I thought it would be here. All right, we're gonna have to.
But I'm on my laptop. I'm on my PC, so I don't. I didn't know.
No. I have an iPad, I have an iPhone, and I also have my laptop here today. And I don't see it on my laptop, which is what I'm sharing right now.
Right.
I don't see it.
The waffle.
But iPad has it.
Yeah, the iPad has it. No, what the waffle will do is just bring you back to the list of Google apps. So we will have to find this out. And what I'll do is when I get an answer, I'm going to include it in the after class notes that I'll be emailing everyone. So stay tuned. Who knows?
We will.
Chuck, did you have another question?
Yeah, sort of. I think it was Shirley was talking about wanting to delete a bunch of folders. I wonder if you could just select multiple folders and drag and drop them into trash.
If I were to, yeah, let's try this. So I'm just selected ABC. I want to do one at a time so I can show you. If I click, let's see if it'll click and drag it. I'm dragging it into trash. Well, let me do that. I thought it would let you, huh? Trashed items. No, it doesn't want to.
Well, if you went to shared with me, folders that are in shared with me, I think that's what she was talking about. Could you drag and drop from there?
No, it's not letting me. I'm doing that right now. At least, well, hold on. Yes.
What about the trash icon on the lower in the dock, on the lower thing?
On the lower, so
they call it the dock, where there are a lot of where you have all the different I don't know what to call it, like Chrome.
Oh, right, on your dock, yeah.
I have it at the extreme right end of this dock. I was wondering if one drag it to this trash, would that work?
Actually, that is a little bit different. I believe I know what you're talking about. And within Google Drive, I don't think you can drag something out of the Google Drive app into your Chrome trash. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a different apartment.
Yeah, kind of, it is.
Yeah, I have to get that clear in my mind. These are two different locations.
Yes, you're right. So Chuck, did I answer your question about dragging and dropping?
So it was more about whoever was asking it.
Okay, and I think it was Shirley, and she's on a different device, so you can, it'll do the same thing. So when let's just go ahead. I'm just going to go back to trash. What did I do with my shared with me? Oh, that's interesting. It's not here anymore. All right. With the shared with me, you can either drag it into trash, or you can right click on the file and select remove. They do the same thing, but I think the question was, how do you do multiple? How can you tag multiple files to delete? And on an iPad, I just want to make sure that I'll write up steps to do that. I just can't show you here because I'm sharing my laptop screen. Sorry about that. Any other questions? Mary Lou, did you have a question? I saw your hand up.
I just wondered, is Google Drive mainly for files and folders?
That's exactly what it's there for, yes. To organize your files and folders, all of your files. And so remember, excuse me, anytime, once you create your Google account and you start using any of the Google apps, whether it's any of these in the little Google app suite, not so little, those files, that information, whether it's photos, documents, videos, they will be saved automatically to your Google Drive in the cloud. And then what you can do to organize them, you can then create folders and then move your files, organize your files into individual folders if that's something that you'd like to do.
Vicki, I got another question.
Sure.
So if you buy, for some reason or another, if you buy a new device and you put in your Google account, will that information automatically go from that drive into the new computer?
You'll be able to access it from the cloud. Yes. Any device,
Okay.
Yes. Kind of cool that way.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. The last thing I was going to show you. Oh, I'm sorry, Chuck, did you have a question? I just glanced away.
Yeah, just quickly. I know we're, so what somebody else was talking about to store documents. So if there's a shared with me file that other people are also using, this is not intended for a committee to work on a file, a document, correct?
It is. That's exactly what it's there for. And we have another Google class, actually, that I teach about sharing and collaborating on files using Google Apps. And so while I'm here, let me just show you, last thing I wanted to show folks was how to share a file from Google Drive. Now, any file that's created using any of the Google apps can be shared with others. And if you're in Google Drive, the way you would share a file, you can right click or click on the three dots if you're on a tablet or smartphone. When you see this menu, one of the things you can do is click on share. And this is the next screen that you see. And as the owner of this document, you can add email addresses to, let's see if I can add an email address. You would just specify someone's email address. It can be Gmail, it can be Hotmail, Yahoo Mail, AOL, whatever you want. Let's use somebody else's email address. And you specify email addresses, people that you want to share the file with. What permissions do they have? Can they just view the file? Can they make comments? Can they be an editor? And then type out a quick message, hi, please review and make edits. And then you click on send. And what's happening is you are now sending these two folks an email. They'll receive an email. They'll open up that email message. They'll be able to open up the file that you've shared with them. And you'll notice now this file has two little people, another new icon here, which indicates that I've shared it with someone. And then if a file has been shared with you, you can open it. You'll need to have a Google account to actually edit the doc, but you can view it without a Google account. And then people who've had the file shared with them, everybody can work on the document at the same time and collaborate.
You can't do a blind copy.
Blind copy on with the email. Oh, I see what you're talking about. If I were to share this.
Yeah.
No, not here, not with this share option.
All right.
Yeah. What you could do though is when I click on share, and this is getting a little bit more, you can always copy a link. And what it's doing is it's copying this link in the cloud to this file, Kathleen, and then you could email someone the link. You could just paste the link in also. Maybe you could, do fancy things like that.
Right.
Mary Lou, did you have a question that I could answer for you?
No, thank you.
Okay. And Chuck?
Vicki?
Yeah, sure.
On iPad, it says send a copy. Is that means it's sharing the copy too, or it's a different?
Let me see, send a copy. Actually, what it's doing is it's a little different because it's simply, I think, sending an email, choose a format. Let me see, preparing a PDF. I think it's just going to email a copy. And yeah, that's all. It's a little bit different. It's just allowing you to either text or email a copy of the file.
I see. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. A lot of great questions. I love it. Chuck, did you have one more question?
Yeah, when multiple people are working in the document, I'm not sure how to say this. Does each person get a different color?
No, I think, do they? I've tried this. I know I demonstrate this on my collaborating class. I think everybody just gets the same copy, but the same color, but they have different names. You can see who has made the change.
It identifies each person's okay, because I know I was working in a committee with something, and it was just neat that everybody got their own color, so you could tell, the differences.
Yeah. Yep.
It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same. So we are at the hour. I can't believe it. This goes flying by. I just wanted to thank everyone. These were like amazing questions. Let me just go quickly. Quick takeaway from today. Just remember that you get free space, 15 gigabytes of free space with your Google Drive. And any files that you create using any of the Google apps are automatically stored on your Google Drive. You can upload, download files and folders from your device to your Google Drive and the other way. And also you can share folders and files from your Google Drive with others so that they can edit, collaborate on them. So just a quick summary of what we've been covering today. And I want to thank everyone so much for joining me today. We have a lot of other Google classes that we offer. And for those of you who were curious, let me just hop over to, I'm on the GetSetUp website. And if you simply go into search classes and type out Google, oops, but you have to type it out correctly. You don't type it out correctly. What you're seeing is these are a list of all the different Google classes that we offer. There's a couple of Zoom in there too. I don't know why. So a lot of great stuff if you're interested in more Google classes. I teach a number of other classes as well, including Snapchat, TikTok, more, Zoom classes, I also teach the collaborating with Google Apps. And so take a look at those, lots of fun stuff to do. I will be sending everyone the after class notes. We have a couple of questions, great questions today. I'll make sure that I get answers to you. And I also encourage folks to give us feedback. Let us know what other classes you would like to see us putting out there, what classes you'd like to see us scheduling more frequently. That's how we make things better. We listen to you. And if you know other people who you think might be interested in our classes, feel free to spread the word. We're always happy to have new folks join us. And I'm going to go ahead and let you go. That's it for me. I want to thank everyone so much. I'm going to stop sharing right now.
May I ask one question?
Of course, sure.
Do you mind? I have a hard time. Took me a long time to get the classes I want, and all of those classes that you teach, I would like to be in them. Is there a short way where I can put in your name in all those classes? Because they had all kinds of things there that are, I spent quite a bit of time, and then my screen didn't cooperate. The little gray bar at the right side or left side, which lets you scroll up and down. I got into, and it won't scroll. The whole thing is taken up by that.
We'll try to figure that out. But one thing that I wanted to answer for you, Sylvia, that was a great question about what other, how can you see other classes that guides teach? So for example, let me go and I'll bring up one of the classes that I teach, Introduction to Google Apps. This is, where's the reviews, class info, class policy. This is interesting. I wanted to show you where the guides, they just changed this. I love it. I love when they do this. Because you can take a look at, let's see if I can find something that I do. Just so that I'm going to pick any class. When you open up someone's class and you click about the guide, this is Ellen. You can also select other classes I teach. And then these are all the classes that Ellen teaches, and you can register for them. And so for me, I teach beginner Zoom classes. I teach Introduction to Google. I teach a lot of the Google apps. And so if I do, let's see, beginner Introduction to Photoshop, I'm trying to see where I can do, I can find one of my classes. Let's try one of those.
One thing about the guide, it would take me a lot.
It's new, yeah.
Yes. Oh, it's new, and I like the way you teach. It's very calm and very well paced. It gives us time, seniors like me, to more or less absorb something before on the next
thing. Great.
Yes, and I'm trying to catch up very poorly.
Well, this is an example of a class that I teach, and this is the beginner Zoom for iPhones and iPads. Once you open up a class, if you click on About the Guide, this is me, and then you can see other classes I teach.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, we just added this about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, great. I was up last.
So I actually teach more classes.
But they have it by date, and that didn't work at all because they would have the by date all the topics from 5 o'clock, and my screen would only go to about 7 o'clock, and I couldn't scroll down. I tried different ways. I finally gave up.
Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And what I'm going to do is stop